Welcome to Normal Baseball's top 10 first baseman list heading into the 2023 MLB season. Let's get into it. What is going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That is Lewis. And today we are doing our top 10 list for our first baseman. We are doing the top 10 list of first basemen heading into the 2023 MLB season. These are the top 10 first basemen who we think will have the best seasons next year based on last year and based on what we think they're going to do this year. These are our top 10 first basemen in MLB right now heading into the season.
Yep.
So the way this works is we're going to just be going 10, and we're going to kind of be seeing who what's going where, who goes where, who has what, and we're going to just get right into it. Let's jump right on in.
Let's do it.
Lewis, would you like to give your number 10?
Yes. At my number 10 spot, hailing from Washington, D.C., Joey Meneses. I'd put at my number 10 spot. He played 57% of his, I believe, 56 games there at first base, so I considered him a first baseman. He has a big ceiling, even though he is going into his age 31 season. I still think that the potential is there, especially if they give him a full season to play at first base, especially. He finished the season with a .324 batting average. However, like I said, he only played 56 games. Had just a very good season, and he only had a 21.7% strikeout rate, which seems a little high for 56 games. So I hope that that's something that he improves upon going into next year, and that's why he brings it at my number 10.
Okay, not on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider him Personally, I don't consider him a first baseman. I think Dom Smith will be playing first base mostly for the Nationals this season.
I have Dom Smith DHing.
I have it the other way around. I have Joey Meneses more DHing, Dom Smith playing first. But I see where it comes from. Certainly, if I looked at him as a first baseman, I would be considering. I don't know if he necessarily would have made my top 10 even then. It depends, but I did not look at him as a first baseman, he was not on my list.
You could switch it out with Dominic Smith, I think.
Even then, Dom Smith would not be number 10 on my list.
Well, he would probably be number 1 on mine.
Dom Smith is not a top 10 first baseman.
He would be number 1 on mine.
Number 1 on yours.
Yep. Actually,
okay.
I'm spoiling.
So you have Joey Meneses at 10.
Yes.
Okay, well, my number 10 was not Joey Meneses. I like the upside of Joey Meneses. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about him. I think I can give you the opportunity to talk a little more about him.
Yeah, I just think that he's going to be really good. In the time that he was up in the big leagues this season, putting together 1.1 WAR in 50 games, just about, is pretty impressive. 930 OPS, a 165 OPS plus. Just, I feel like he has all the utility and all the ability and want to just become a really, really great player. And I'm looking forward to watching him. And I think that his floor is set higher than other players at the position. So I think that he has more room to grow. Make sense?
Okay. My number 10 was a guy who was on a new team this year, but I think he's a really good fit on this new team. Heading over to Cleveland, Ohio, I have Josh Bell at my number 10 spot. The 30-year-old, he was amazing on the Nationals last season, not so amazing on the Padres, which is what brought me down. That is more of why he's so low on my list. He's at number 10. Because after he was traded from the Nationals, batting .301 in the first 103 games of 2022, after he was traded, the last 53 games he played, he batted .192. Mm-hmm. So absolutely horrible after the trade. Do I think he's going to be horrible in Cleveland? No, not at all. I think he will become himself in Cleveland. Last season, 156 games played, .266 batting average, like I said, dragged down because of how he played in San Diego. Not a great defender, but he's a really good fit for the Guardians. He brings power to that lineup that
needs it.
That needs power, and he can still hit for average. I expect him to have a fairly good season. I have him batting 285 next season because I think his batting average, he will be able to maintain a good batting average next season. Mm-hmm. I have him at an 877 OPS. I think his power will go up a little bit more. I think he'll have 23 home runs. And 40 doubles. I think his doubles are gonna go up significantly. He also walks a lot. He had 81 walks last season. I think he can hit the 100 mark.
So I will say that I had Josh Bell more labeled as a DH in the Guardians, just because of Josh Naylor playing first base is what I thought. But if I had thought of him more as a first baseman, he would definitely be in my top 10.
Yeah, I don't see him as a DH. He is going to be playing first base for them.
Okay.
100%. I think that was kind of the thought. They didn't really have a first baseman who they are a first baseman. Their main position is first base. That Naylor, he's not that guy. I think Josh Bell will be that guy for them this season. I don't see him as a DH personally.
All right.
So we kind of had the same discrepancies in our 10. Yeah. You saw Joey Meneses more as a first baseman. I see him more as a DH, and I see Josh Bell as a first baseman. You see him more as a DH. I do think he will be a first baseman this season, though.
We'll have to find out come opening day.
So that means you didn't have Josh. I assume that means you have Josh Bell on your DH.
On my DH list, yes, I do.
So
no worries there. I promise.
Yeah. So he came in at number 10 on my first baseman list.
All right. So
I'll go with my number 9 now.
Yeah, go for it.
My 9th best first baseman, my number 9 first baseman heading into the 2023 season, I got the Italian stallion, Anthony Rizzo.
Oh, okay.
At my number 9 spot. The more I looked at the first base position, the more I realized how many good first basemen there are. And when you look at a guy like Rizzo, yes, he did have a record power year. Yankee Stadium, yes, probably helped it a decent bit. 32 homers, which I believe is close to his career high. And 19 out of his 32 home runs came from Yankee Stadium. So, like I said, the power but he's a great defender. I'm wondering if his batting average was low last season. He batted 224 last season. 817 OPS, so like I said, the power was there, but the average was very low for Anthony Rizzo, and it made me wonder if it was because of the shift. So I'm interested to see if this season that batting average will go up. I don't have it going up by an insane amount, but I think it will go up. And I'm excited to see him have another power year, and I think he'll have another amazing year in the Bronx.
That's fair. I had Anthony Rizzo at my 6th spot.
6, yeah.
Just because I do agree with you that the banning of the shift is going to benefit him extremely well. And one of the notes that I made is simply, king of the short porch, baby.
Yeah.
King of the short porch.
Like I said, Yankee Stadium helped him.
Being a lefty pull hitter in Yankee Stadium benefits him a lot. And I also noted down that he is one of the better defensive first basemen in the game today. So it definitely helped him on my list. And the shift, but everything else that you said, I completely agree with. I just valued him a little bit higher at 6.
Yeah, I guess I had him a little lower. I had him at my 9. I thought there were the guys I put above him. I thought, for reasons that we'll get into, I thought that they were just better up there. Yeah. I think just he did concern me a little bit last season in terms of extreme power, but a lot helped from Yankee Stadium. He is the king of the short porch. I agree. Right behind Joey Gallo, of course.
Well, let it be known that for my first baseman...
And his defense is really good, so...
Yeah, for my first baseman, 10 through 4, very interchangeable, volatile, can definitely move around a lot. So, don't think that I'm overvaluing Rizzo, and don't think Alex is undervaluing him. I think that it's just a matter of circumstance for both of us.
Yeah. And the thing with Rizzo, what I would have put him up more for is his defense. I remember a story from, I believe it was 2021, Andrew Velasquez of the Yankees. Rizzo told him, just throw the ball in my direction and I will catch it or scoop it or whatever I have to do. So having that kind of confidence as a defender is very good, and he's a really good defender. So I'm excited to see how he plays next season, but I think the guys ahead of him, it's very interchangeable like you said, but I think I have my reasons for each part in my list. So.
Yes, and of course, shout out Kevin.
Shout out Kevin.
Shout out Kevin.
Anthony Rizzo's dog.
So should I do my number 9 now?
Yeah, you do your number 9.
My number 9, I had Ty France of the Seattle Mariners. He's coming off an all-star season. He has a good balanced bat that can really thrive within the Mariners lineup, whether they need a base hit or they need a home run. You know, I feel like he's up for the task. And he has a really good fielding percentage, actually higher than Anthony Rizzo's fielding percentage last year. So I do think that he's going to be a very good, in a very, very good position being with the Seattle Mariners.
I had him at my number 8.
Oh, okay, good.
Ty France was my number 8 for the season. Like you said, he is a really good defender. He's been very good the past 2 seasons. A lot of positives coming into the season. I'm excited to see him with like the youth around him in that Mariners organization. Mm-hmm. Last season played 140 games, batted .274, amazing, with a 774 OPS, 126 WRC plus did stand out to me pretty good. 3.1 WAR, 20 homers, 27 doubles, 83 RBIs. I think he's gonna have just around the same season. I think he'll get a little bit better offensively. I have him 25 homers, 33 doubles, more RBIs, but that's mostly because of the team he has around him now.
Yes.
The Mariners are a very good team. He's only 28. I have him at my number 8 spot for all like those reasons. He's just a very, very quality player.
Yeah, I completely agree. Number 8, number 9 for respectively onto our list. So
Ty France, come here.
Ty France, round of applause.
Sometimes he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. I know last season, towards the All-Star break, he was 100% getting the recognition he deserves. A lot of people, he was an All-Star.
Wasn't Stephen A. Smith even petitioning for him to be an All-Star before he got the nod?
I'll be honest, when it comes to baseball,
he might have.
When it comes to baseball, I could care less about what Stephen A. Smith says. So,
but it's pretty cool to see guys.
I guess, but I don't care what Stephen A. Smith says when it comes to baseball.
No, I agree with that entirely.
But yeah, Ty France. He got injured last year, is what I was gonna say. And so that slowed down his momentum a little bit, but he was still good all year. So
yeah,
I love Ty France. So who was your number 7 then?
Number 8.
Oh,
because that was your number 8. My number 9 was Ty France.
Yeah. So then who was your number 8?
You want to talk about Italian stallions? Vinny Pasquantino came in at my number 8 spot. Just a young, exciting player who I feel like, again, another one of these guys who, if you don't know me already, I'm very high on rookies to begin with. I think that he is just in for a breakout season in his sophomore season. Last season in 72 games, he batted .295. He was just really good. He's going to be the everyday starter, I would assume, at first base moving forward for the Royals. Had a 135 OPS plus and 832 OPS. Just brought a lot of excitement. He was really, really good offensively, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him play all 162 this year because I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, the Italian stallion, Vinny Pasquantino, otherwise known as Jake Storiale. They are the same person.
That's true. You've never seen them in a room together, except for the one photo I think.
Except when they were. But I think he is going to have a really good season this year. He did not crack my list, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I think in the next coming years, he definitely can. Yeah. Vinny Pasquantino is a dog for sure.
For sure.
So, you've done your 10, 9, and 8?
10, 9, and 8. And you've done your 10, 9, and 8?
Yes. So now on to my number 7. I have a guy who plays in the West.
The American League West?
The National League West. I have Christian Walker from the Arizona Diamondbacks at my number 7 spot. In 2022, he played 160 games. He was out there almost every day. He hit .242 with an 804 OPS. Had a 122 WRC plus with 36 home runs, 25 doubles, 94 RBIs on a bad Diamondbacks team, and 69 walks. Nice. A 5.1 WAR. Just, he was the bright light for the Diamondbacks dark last season, mostly. Definitely has it in him to replicate the last few seasons he's been this good. I just said it on our will be for the Diamondbacks. He has been very underrated for the last few seasons. I think he's a really, really good first baseman. I expect him to have a very good season. I think he'll hit 39 home runs, dare I say 40. 29 doubles. I think his average will go up. I think his OPS will go up. I think his on base will go up. I think he'll have a higher WAR. I see him getting better next season. He's 31. He's still got it in him. Christian Walker.
I like that. He was on the outside looking in for me. But I do understand your arguments. And, hey, I'll underrate him a little bit more. Just that way you can say I told you so at the end of the year to me.
Okay.
Yep.
I told you. I'm going to go back on all my predicted stats. And I'm going to report whatever ones I get right.
Good. That's good. So, should I move to my 7?
Yeah. Go for it.
For my number 7, I have the only man in world history to ever pull off the complete reverse bunt, Jose Abreu of the Houston Astros. Just, honestly, I think the Astros having him is one of the most solid fits I can possibly think of. I feel like he just always bats 300, and last season was no question about it. He hit 304 over 157 games. He was just out there all the time. Had an 824 OPS and a 133 OPS plus. He's going to be one of the most reliable bats on the Astros in their lineup. And honestly, if they have World Series expectations again this season, as they should, being the defending champs, having Jose Abreu out there instead of Yuri Gurriel or Yuli Gurriel or Trey Mancini is a massive upgrade. And if I were any team in the American League or National League, I would be scared to face them.
Yeah, I had him at my number 5, so I had him one above you.
I had him at 7, not 6. 7.
You had him at 7?
7. We already did my number 6. That's why you're getting confused.
Oh, you had him at 7. I had him at my number 5.
That's fair.
I mean, the guy feels like he bats 300 every year. He definitely plays defense.
Yeah, and he's replacing the Astros' second worst position on the field.
Exactly. He's been underrated since he. A lot of people said he shouldn't have won he won the Mickey Mouse MVP. He's been underrated since then anyway. He's been very good. I think he'll get a little bit worse next year, but a little bit worse for him is still, to me, top 5. To me, it's still a top 5 first baseman in the league. I think he'll bat just under 300 next season.
Yeah. And for the past 4 seasons, he's been finishing top 20 in MVP. If you told me that he was going to finish top 10 this season or top 15, I'd believe you. Yeah, he's just really, really good.
I think he's going to be extremely valuable to their team, and I'm very excited to see it.
Yes, I agree.
So Jose
Abreu. My number 7, your number?
My number 5.
Your number 5.
Based on last year, I mean, and especially what he's going to bring to this Astros team, being in that winning environment and a team that wants to win. I mean, they're the defending champions. I think he'll play his heart out. And I think he's just going to be himself and have an amazing season, which is what he does constantly.
Yeah.
So that's why he's my number 5. I think putting him under 5, to me, doesn't feel right. That's just to me. Because of how good he's been throughout his career and how good I think he'll be next season. So, yeah. So that was your number 7?
That was my number 7.
So what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Rizzo. We already spoke about him.
Okay, so what are you up to now?
I'm up to my 5. I have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 left to go.
Okay, so I'll give my number 6.
Okay.
My number 6 is Nathaniel Lowe. He's a 27-year-old Texas Ranger, first base. Last season, 157 games, batted .302, with an 851 OPS, a 143 WRC plus, a 3.3 WAR, 27 homers, 26 doubles, 76 RBIs, 48 walks. He's not great defensively, but he's going to continue to be great offensively. He's still young in his career. He's only going into his 5th season. I think he'll have a breakout season next year. Full breakout season next year. I think it's coming. I have him slated to hit 304. And I think he'll have 28 homers and 30 doubles. I think he's gonna have a big year next season. The guy can hit for average. He can also hit for power. That's something that is very, very valuable to every team. And I think being on a team like the Texas Rangers, being in the AL West, hard division,
Yeah.
I think he'll be a big part of that Rangers team.
Okay. I like it. I'm very high on the Rangers. Did not have Nathaniel Lowe in my top 10. Looking back on it, he definitely could have cracked my list.
I want to say he is a surefire top 10 no matter who you are.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a definite top 10.
I can understand the argument for it. However, again, I will underrate him, so you can tell me at the end of the season, I told you so.
I think I will be saying that because Nate Lowe, Nathaniel Lowe, will be having a great season.
I like it.
Well, so who do you have left?
I have my 5 through 1.
5 through 1. I only have my 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Because you just did your 5.
Yeah, so you want to give me your 4?
Yeah. Well,
give me your 5 and your 4.
So, number 5, I have reigning 2022 National League MVP Paul Goldschmidt.
At number 5?
At number 5. I believe that his production is going to slow down. He gave it his all to win that MVP, and I don't know how likely it is that he repeats his production level of last year. I will admit that he did slow down in the second half. He did go through a little bit of a slump, but still was able to bring it back towards the end of the season and finished off the second half with an 841 OPS. 941 OPS, my apologies. And he was really, really good. He was coming off an MVP season. You don't just win one of those and not be, in my opinion, like the top 5. I think
100%.
That going forward, though, we're not going to see that Goldschmidt. I don't want to say that's a one and done thing. I just don't think that we will see it over the course of a whole season as we just did. And just to get a little bit nerdy, he was really, really good against fastballs. However, he had a 72% chase rate on off-speed pitches outside the zone, which does not look good. You never want to be chasing outside the zone pitches that are slow.
He won an MVP.
He did win an MVP, but that's the counter argument. But he's in my top 5.
I had him at number 2.
Okay.
He is my number 2 first baseman in baseball. He just won an MVP. He plays good defense. There's no real reason to think he'll have another bad season. Yes, he is 35, but considering he just won an MVP...
I'm not thinking that he's going to have a bad season. I just don't... My number 5 was more based on I don't think he could repeat winning the MVP.
I don't think he's going to repeat winning the MVP, but that still doesn't mean I think he'll have he's at my number 2. If I thought he was going to be the MVP, I'd have him at my number 1.
Yeah.
But I think that he'll still have a very quality season because he's still on this high contending Cardinals team. I think his numbers might go down just a tiny bit, but even then, comparatively to every other first baseman in the league, I think it'll still be elite numbers. There's a chance his production goes down, but like I said, just won an MVP. It's not going to go down that much, and I think it'll go down very, very tiny bit. I have him hitting 311 next year. He hit 317 this year. I have his OPS at 973. I think he's going to be a really good player next year. There's no reason to think he won't be. It's not like he's been slowing down and he just randomly had this big season. He's not going to fall off a cliff, in my opinion.
All right. I can get behind that.
So he's my number 2.
That. Number 2, my number 5. So, do you want to give me your 4 then? Or your 5?
I already gave my 5. Jose Abreu. You give me your 4.
Okay, my 4. My number 4 is former Oakland Athletic great Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves. He had a really good second half of the season because he slumped a lot in the beginning. However, the second half he really brought it back. He is slotted into one of the most well-rounded lineups in baseball. And honestly, he was a lefty pull hitter who got shifted against plenty. And he was still top 3% in exit velo all of last season on fly balls and line drives at 93 miles per hour. Really, really good first baseman. Plays great defense. A young guy slotted in the Braves lineup. Matt Olson, number 4 on my list. Did you forget Matt Olson?
I left Matt Olson off my list.
Nice.
I
left Nathaniel Lowe.
I'll be honest.
Off Nathaniel Lowe.
I'll be honest. Maybe there's a reason I did. Do I remember it right now? No. I have to stick with my gut. I'm not putting Matt Olson on, I guess. There's no room for him. In my opinion, there's no room for him.
That's okay.
I don't know how I forgot him. I don't know what I was thinking.
I could tell as soon as I looked over there, I was like, oh no, Alex forgot.
But, you know what? I'm okay with it. Matt Olson was not on my list. I'm sorry to say that for all the Braves. I'm going to get murdered by Braves fans.
Yeah, you are.
When we make the graphic of this and put it on Instagram, I am going to get murdered.
There's going to be some problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that was your number 4?
That was my number 4.
So
I believe we're both in the top 3 now.
No, I have 4, 3, and 1. I gave my number 2, who was Goldie. So
Okay.
I'll give my number 4 now. Someone who I think isn't on your list, which I'm hoping he is, because if not, I sense some bias here.
Okay.
But we'll see. He might be your 3. I have from the Blue Jays the 23-year-old Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
He's my number 3. You were right.
I figured. I was like, there's no way he left him off.
Yeah, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, Vladdy, I mean...
Biased. Get the hell out of here.
He would have won MVP
in
2021 should it have not been for Shohei Ohtani. He did have a little bit of a down year last season, but he still played 160 games, batted .274, had an .818 OPS, 32 homers, 35 doubles, 97 RBIs. But he's a very good defender. I think he'll have a very good bounce back year. They moved the fences in Toronto.
Bounce back. He still had an amazing 2020.
Yes,
season.
he still had an amazing season, but it wasn't compared to what we know, what he had in the past. The season, it wasn't his best season.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I think he'll have a better season. I think he's determined to win, especially in the AL East. He wants to beat the Yankees this season. I think he will be determined all season. I think he'll play all 162 games. I think he'll hit 293 with a 913 OPS. I think he'll have a 4.1 WAR, a 136 WRC plus. I think he'll hit 39 homers, 40 doubles, 110 RBIs. I think he is going to have a mammoth season. He's going to have a monster season for the Blue Jays, and that's why he's my number 4. I think he will... A lot of people might have had him a bit lower based on the season he had last year because it was a little worse than some of the other first basemen, but I certainly think he's still the fourth best first baseman in baseball.
Yeah, I like that. And that's every reason as to why I had him at the top 3. He is still a top performer on the Blue Jays in that lineup, and I think that the 2022 season compared to his 2021 is like, he took one step forward, one step back, 2 steps forward type of deal,
Okay. Yeah.
That's
why he was at your number 3, right?
Number 3.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot Matt Olson.
You're kind of distraught by it.
Well, now I'm like, where would he have fit in? But now I can't even think of where he would have fit in because then someone would have had to go. Whatever. I don't know. I like Vladdy. I think in this lineup with the Blue Jays, he wants to win, especially after last season. They have a really, really great lineup. Not to mention he's really good at defense. He just won a Gold Glove at first base. He's very, very good. So yeah.
So I believe
I think for these, I think your number 2 is going to be my number 3, and I think we're going to have the same number 1.
Really?
Unless you.
So you still have to do your 3 because I just did my 3 with Vladdy.
I have my 3 and my 1 left, and you have your 2 and your 1 left.
Yes. So
I think my number 3 is your number 2.
Okay, so give me your 3.
But okay. I think unless you made a big jump, I will heavily disagree if my 3 is not your 2. My number 3, hailing from the Big Apple, I have Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. I think he's a great player. Was he your number 1?
You want to talk about getting crucified?
Did you leave him off?
Uh-oh. Go ahead. Come on.
Pete Alonso played 160 games last season. He played a lot. What else can you ask for? Batted .271 with an .869 OPS, a 143 WRC plus. The man dominated, 4.4 WAR, 40 home runs last season, 27 doubles, 131 RBIs, 67 doubles. Big meat Pete. He will be Big Meat Pete next year. I think he's going to get even better next year. I think he'll hit 48 home runs next year. I think he'll have a 159 WRC plus, 5.6 WAR, 129 RBIs, 32 doubles. He's not going to get worse, especially being on a team like the Mets who are supposed to be contending for a World Series. Wouldn't doubt his offensive numbers getting better. I'm betting on his offensive numbers to get better. He's the guy is simply a beast. Now, tell me, did you actually leave him off your list, or are you just messing with me?
I'm going to move on. At my number 2 spot, I put who I believe should be at your number 1 spot if I'm playing my cards properly. Freddie Freeman of the Los Angeles Dodgers came in at my number 2.
No. Did you have Pete Alonso on your list? He was your number 1.
Can we move on?
No.
Can we please move on?
Was Pete Alonso on your list?
Can we please move on?
No. I think you're messing with me right now. Was Pete Alonso on your list? I think he was your number 1.
Can we please move on?
No.
We will address this later.
Yes, because he's your number 1. I can almost guarantee
Freddie
it.
Freeman came in at my number 2.
Okay, we're just going to ignore me.
Came in at my number 2. I mean, he has been just absolutely great in the last 2 years, honestly. He won a World Series in 2021, first year in a Dodgers uniform. He did not underperform at all. He once again led the league in hits, having 119, I believe, this last season. Yes, with 47 doubles, which not only led the National League but led the entirety of Major League Baseball. Had a 918 OPS, a 172 OPS plus, 325 batting average. Oh my God, was he good? Was he good?
Yeah, I had Freddie Freeman at my number 1. Mm-hmm. Doyer's uniform, Dodgers jersey. Kind of gave it away again. 159 games played, like you said, batted .325. The man can do it all. He plays good defense. He's the definition of a 5-tool player. He does whatever it takes to win. The guy mashes. He led baseball in doubles with 47, had 21 homers, 100 RBIs. And he's been getting better over the years, too, which is just crazy. He's 33, and he's just been getting better.
And what's so weird is that it always feels like whenever Freddie Freeman comes up, except for game 4 of the NLDS, besides that at-bat in the top of the 9th inning, it just always felt like if David Robertson said to him, I need a double here.
David Robertson?
Dave Roberts. Oh, I said Robertson. Oh, my fault. Yeah, if Dave Roberts said to him, oh, Freddie, I need a double here. Freddie, I need a homer here. Freddie, just get on base. Give me a single or a walk. Like, it just felt like that's like he was always doing exactly what he needed to do.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
He's a machine. I think
if you told me he was not from this earth, I would believe you.
Yeah, exactly. I think his power may go up next season.
Yes.
By just a little bit, but I think his average will take a little bit of hit. I still think he's going to hit 320. I think he's just going to be an on-base machine again next year. I think he'll have 50 doubles next season. He had 47 last season. I think he'll have 50 this season.
That's fun.
101 RBIs. I mean, I think he led baseball in hits and doubles, and like we said, he's just a machine, and it's just insane to see. My thought was putting him over Paul Goldschmidt, yes, because I think he'll have a better season next year. I think Paul Goldschmidt will get he'll either stay around the same or a little bit worse. I think Freeman's going to get even better. I mean, there's no reason to think he won't.
Yeah.
Now I've said my entire list. I before you say who your 1 is, let me just tell you, I know it's Pete Alonso because there is no other first baseman who could be number 1 on your list.
You sure?
I guarantee it.
Do you want to really think about what's going on in this mind and think about first baseman?
Listen to me. I guarantee your legitimate number 1 best first baseman in baseball is Pete Alonso. There is no way you have Pete Alonso off your list and you put who I know who you want me to think it is, but I have no way you legitimately put him at number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, going into the 2023 MLB season, my number 1 first baseman is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the forever New York champion, the New York leader, the New York forever will be loved in this state, Pete Alonso.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
I was really tempted to put Luke Voigt. I'll admit it. Luke Voigt is always going to be there in my heart. But I couldn't do it.
I told you. I guarantee. I was like, there's no
Pete
way.
Alonso. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Shut up. Shut your goddamn mouth.
Pete Alonso has been one of the most steady offensive weapons since his debut.
Freeman's been better.
No matter what. He has been steady. He has been reliable. He has been able to go out there and play fucking games. And he gets it done. And I'm proud of him. I'm excited to watch him play. And genuinely, I mean this with 110% of my fucking confidence. He's winning the 2023 NL MVP award. He is going to hit 53 home runs again. He is going to lead the league in RBIs again. And he is going to be him in the National League this year.
Funny you should say that when Freddie Freeman's going to have a better season. So
you think.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think.
But what's more fun? The slap Freddie Freeman singles or a Pete Alonso home run?
I'm going to go with 50 doubles is better than
53 homers.
Yeah.
So you'd rather take half the bases? And
no,
not guarantee a
Not
run.
necessarily. I'd rather the higher batting average with Freddie Freeman. Pete Alonso, I mean, I had him at my number 3.
I had him at number 2.
I think 275 he'll bat. I don't like.
But no,
Freddie.
I had Freddie Freeman at my number 2. Pete Alonso was my 1.
Yeah, no. I see where you would have your Pete Alonso as number 1, but I mean, 2022 NL MVP is kind of crazy.
Oh no, it's not.
I
I think that as long as he lowers his strikeout and whiff rate on chase pitches outside the zone, which has been a thing that he's struggled with and is why you see him break his bats in regular season games, because he gets annoyed that he knows that he shouldn't be chasing them. And I think that if there's any year, especially with now having Steve Cohen, and he showed he wants to spend all this money no matter what, this is the time. This is the time for Pete Alonso, and I think when the lights are brightest, he is going to perform, he is going to win the MVP, and he is going to be the best first baseman in baseball.
Sounds like you have a little crush on Pete Alonso.
And I will say it right now, I fucking told you so. I want you to come watch this when the season's over. I told you so.
Sounds like you have a little crush on Pete Alonso.
I do. We look like the exact same person.
I would not go that far.
Have you ever seen us in the same room?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
Yes.
Prove it.
Same stadium, I
Do you have
have.
a photo?
Yes.
But were we sitting together when we went?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean...
I'm just so high on him.
I can tell you've been yelling for the last 5 minutes.
I believe in him so much. Pete Alonso will be the 2023 NL MVP.
I didn't know we were doing MVP picks right now.
No, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Just because I'm so passionate and I believe in him so much. This is his season. This is his season.
I believe in him. I don't know if I believe in him to win the MVP. I can certainly see him being the best first baseman in baseball. But like I said, to me, I just value Freddie Freeman a little bit more. I do agree that Pete Alonso has the personality. He's got that energy. He likes his cheeseburgers. I agree. I also love me some Big Meat Pete.
Have you ever tried the Polar Bear Burger? It's pretty good.
Considering I don't eat red meat,
oh,
then
sure,
I'm going to go with no.
They do make it in vegetarian.
I'm not a vegetarian, so I don't.
Well, no, but they make it with like the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that.
It tastes the same.
But yeah, we're not getting into that right now. But I mean, I guess I knew you didn't leave him off. I was like, this guy loves Pete Alonso. Like, there's no possible way you accidentally like me leaving off Matt Olson. Like, has Matt Olson done anything in my life that's like memorable? No. Has Pete Alonso?
No.
No, I mean, I've been to Mets games where Pete Alonso has done... Like, I've watched Pete Alonso...
Oh, I was about to say.
Like, I have memories of Pete Alonso hitting at Citi Field. Like, I watched him hit a walk-off one time. Like, I have memories of Pete Alonso at Citi Field.
Okay.
I don't have any memories of Matt. Like, I don't know how Matt Olson escaped my mind. But,
That's pretty embarrassing.
It is, but... Whatever. Pete, I got being your number one is a
I have
bold
said
move.
it since the literal first day of the offseason that I really genuinely believe in Pete Alonso to win the MVP this season. I have been saying it since the moment the World Series ended. It felt like in 2022 it was Pete Alonso's year to win the NL MVP.
All right, I'm pulling something up really quick. I'm pulling up a very important document.
Which is?
I'm trying to get it right now.
What's the document?
I can't tell you. It's more based on your assessment of him winning the MVP. I'm trying to just pull up what exactly happened. Oh, here we go.
Who
Hold
I
on.
said last year to win the MVP? Wasn't it like Trey Turner? I think I said last year should have won the MVP. Well, was
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it right now, but
it was not Pete Alonso last year. I think it was Trey Turner last year.
No, I know. I was just trying to say like your picks aren't always right.
I got Aaron Judge right.
Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, that was our lists. Let us know what you agreed with, disagreed with, what you think should have been different. Like, comment, follow, share, subscribe. The next one we're doing is top 10 second baseman.
Get ready. It's going to get fun. Go Padres.
Go Dodgers.
Go Luke Voigt.
Go Freddie Freeman.
Go Luke Voigt.
All right, we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt.